descent rate from its initial touchdown speed of 1.5 meters per second to just 0.8 meters right as it's above the ground.
We don't see anything, but the pressure is falling. How are you feeling? Okay, that's good. We're feeling well, and the oxygen is being sent to us. The panel is lit up. We did feel the drop in the pressure, but other than that, nothing's wrong. No, we don't see anything on the screen.
The Soyuz craft continuing to descend. Once it's on the ground, search and recovery forces will begin to safe the vehicle and prepare to extract the crew. What exactly they'll be doing will depend on the vehicle orientation once it touches down, whether it lands upright or ends up on its side, both of which are planned for and considered nominal landings.
Okay, is everything fine? Is it good, right?
RSC Energia specialists will work to extract the crew while others inflate the medical tent about 100 yards away from the landing zone, so the crew can be carried out and over to the medical tent to be removed from their SOCO launch and entry suits. Once inside the medical tent, the crew will get their initial medical exam and get a chance to change before they're loaded into 3 of the all-terrain vehicles, which are backed up to the tent in order to assist the crew one by one to be driven over to some of the awaiting helicopters. Once then, they'll board on and fly about 1 hour and 45 minutes back to Karaganda. For now, descent continuing to look nominal, just about 5.5 minutes away from touchdown.
All right, let's check. Okay, spare to the right. Okay, we have the permission to open up one of the antennas, and we're getting the oxygen signal, and the pressure is dropping, which is right. That's good. At the height of the 200 meters, you're going to have 5 seconds for the landing. And close your mouth. So too, the pressure is dropping. That's wonderful, thank you. Okay, we still don't have any data, but we do get the air composition information. See, there is nothing. 1, 2, 3 are not lit up. There is just nothing.
You can see some of the Russian search and recovery forces helicopters there in the background, currently reporting the Soyuz altitude at about 2,400 meters.
Everything's nominal. All right. Copy all. Sounds great. Thank you. Unintelligible.
Soyuz craft continuing to descend and slow under the guidance of the main parachute. It's a little under 2.5 minutes now from the scheduled touchdown. Should get a pretty good view of the soft landing engines firing just about 2 seconds before the vehicle touches down in Kazakhstan. Everything reported nominal.
I'm trying to breathe through. Trying to do the purge. Copy all.
Just about a minute and a half now from touchdown. At this point, all of the prime recovery helicopters in place around the landing zone, ready to touch down following the successful Soyuz landing. All-terrain vehicles already on site for some time, standing by. Just 1 minute now from landing.
Looks beautiful. It's morning here. Copy. We are ready. I'll be standing by for your command. Unintelligible. Just great. We're ready. We are ready.
Reported altitude right now for the craft, 900 meters. Coming from the search and recovery forces, as you can see on scene, the Russian Mi-8 helicopters circling the landing zone in preparation. The ground in sight. You can see the parachute coming down and the plume coming up from the soft landing engines. An unofficial landing time now at 9:31 p.m. Central Time. The 3 former Expedition 35 crew members returning to Earth. So at this point, the crew on the ground inside their Soyuz craft, the search and recovery teams can finish landing their helicopters and begin moving in. Once they arrive at the landing site, they'll be able to inspect the vehicle, first checking its orientation, whether it landed upright or on its side. From there, they'll either build a extraction stand if the vehicle is upright in order to begin removing the crew, or if it's on its side, it'll be rolled over to open a side hatch installed inside of the vehicle. And the recovery forces reporting that the Soyuz did land vertically. You can see the first helicopters beginning to arrive on site. First helicopter delivering ROC Energia personnel who will prepare the vehicle for the extraction of the crew. Reports coming through that the very first helo is indeed on the ground. As the vehicle is upright, they'll have to construct a stand in order to access and begin extracting the crew. Soyuz Commander Roman Romanenko will be extracted first. Meanwhile, while the crew is being extracted, other landing team personnel will be erecting the medical tent about 100 yards away from the Soyuz craft. Each of the crew will be carried out of the craft and placed in special seats where they'll be able to relax before being moved over to that medical tent, where they'll be able to change out of their SOCO launch and entry suits. Here, a view inside of the Russian Mission Control Center. You can see written in Cyrillic there, yes, Posadka, the Russian words for they've landed, confirmed a successful landing for this crew. Soft land engines firing just on time, landing the vehicle upright. Now we're standing by as the Russian recovery forces in concert with personnel from NASA and the Canadian Space Agency move in to begin extracting the crew from the Soyuz craft, landing almost on the dot there, just to the southeast of Zhezkazgan. So this successful landing, again, wrapping up 146 days for the three-man crew of Expedition 35 returning this evening. 144 of those days were spent on board the International Space Station. While on board the orbiting complex, they completed 2,336 orbits of planet Earth, giving them a total distance traveled of just under 61.8 million statute miles. Marshburn now having a lifetime spent in space of 162 days, spanned over 2 missions, 16 days spent back on STS-127. Expedition 35 Commander Chris Hadfield completing 166 total days in space, this being his third spaceflight, having spent 8 days in space prior on STS-74 and 12 back on STS-100. Meanwhile, Soyuz Commander for this evening, Roman Romanenko, second-generation cosmonaut, has now completed 334 days in space, broken up across 2 expedition space flights, having spent 188 days back on Expedition 20 and 21. So again, all the search and recovery ground forces moving in on that Soyuz craft to begin